Content writing is more about giving information, engaging, and copywriting is different in a perspective like it's more about salesy. It's content, copy, and strategizing and everything social media. I've been here, in this market particularly for by 4.5 years by now. Basically, let me tell you, in UAE, it's all about networking. Talking with people, connecting with people. They feel like, okay, this is the right candidate we're looking for.
Because we stress portfolio a lot. Hi Fareen, welcome to HACA.
Thank you. Hi, Haris.
Great. Fareen is someone which I think I was looking forward to meet for a very long time. We had a little chat on WhatsApp. We were planning something, but it went nowhere. And finally, when we started in academy and academy in UAE, you were the first person in my mind, and I approached you, and you started. You accepted. I'm very grateful for that. To be very honest, and then. We started working together in the last, I think, 1.5 months. And to start with, when you shared me your portfolio deck, right? And when I shared that to our group, like the founders, Rizwan and everybody, and I literally saw a few people telling, oh my God, it's Fareen, right? And there were few people telling, after seeing your portfolio and things like that, the brand logos, the way you have portrayed and everything, it was a convincing statement for me that okay, Fareen will teach our students content writing and copywriting in social media. So without wasting much of the time, Fareen, I'm gonna put a very simple question. What's your story?
So Haris, so I've been, and thank you for this massive introduction. I'm so glad. And so regarding this content, copy, and strategizing and everything social media, I've been here, in this market particularly for by 4.5 years by now. And I've had this privilege of working with one set of good brands, starting from startups to big giants. And it didn't happen overnight. And I was someone who started, basically, I'm an accountant. I'm from a finance field. And it was there came to be a stage of my life where I understood that this is not my cup of tea. And I kind of resigned my job and get into something that's digital marketing. I got into a safer hands where it was a group of companies and I had to work with a good number of team members who are more into different industries. So I had this exposure of working with different industries, making content for them, and all these nuances and everything has been very insightful for me. And gradually I started building learning. The process has been very, subjected to learning a lot and working with good professionals, team itself. And yeah, that's all about it. Like,
Great, great. So we're going to take this. The topic is going to be content writing and copywriting, and a little bit on social media marketing. So I'm gonna ask you questions like a very basic beginner who doesn't know anything, because I want our audience to understand it in very basic, right? So Fareen, what is content writing? What is copywriting? And how is it different? Because most of the time people are not aware that copywriting is a whole different ball game and content writing is a whole different ball game. And how am I going to differentiate between these two? Yeah.
so basically, both of them is mainly deferred to the intent. Like content writing is more about giving information, engaging, and it's more about letting people know about a subject. And copywriting is different in a perspective like it's more about salesy. It is defined for driving an outcome out of it.
Great.
So
Persuading people to take up a particular
take an
action.
action.
Okay.
So it's differing on that terms, and the medium also kind of mix and matches, but there is a standard way in which they differ. For example, for content, we write blog posts, newsletters, and everything comes on content. Whereas for copies, it's more about advertising, campaign relevant, ad copies, and stuff like that. So it's basically differed upon the intent.
Great. Let's say I want to build my career out of content and copy and social media marketing also, as a freelancer or wherever it may be. How do I start?
So basically,
Where
if
do
you're
I
new
start?
here in UAE,
UAE.
so basically, let me tell you, in UAE, it's all about networking. Get yourself into this networking platform where you find people, especially on LinkedIn or even through social media. Get yourself, talking with people, connecting with people. Also, there are platforms in here where we can connect as freelance projects as well, like Upwork, Indeed, LinkedIn, Fiverr, Freelancer. There are platforms like these where we can enroll ourselves. All before all of these, we need a portfolio itself. So before that, like the best part I loved about HACA is that once a student is being out from the the college, the academy itself, they are being ready within a
Yeah,
portfolio.
because
So
we stress portfolio a lot.
because that's very important. Nobody's going to ask your resume, like where CV, and read through all of that. When they see a portfolio with a bunch of good works, result oriented, which has a testimonial in it, and they feel like, okay, this is the
My next question. So as I told, when I shared your portfolio to a bunch of group, I mean, which we are in, so they were like, okay, this is a damn amazing portfolio. What is a good portfolio, and how important it is to build a portfolio culture with everything which we are doing? And when you were drafting your own portfolio, what came to my mind that, okay, you have your client testimonials, you have client logos, you have a structure for that portfolio. So if I have to build a portfolio for me, what is a good portfolio?
A good portfolio will have certain components. One is about you yourself, where do you see yourself, your USP, the brands that you worked with, the features that you had. Then it's about the services or your core strengths, then the testimonials, and it should be always results oriented. It should have a case study, and it should definitely be a reflection of what you have been doing and what you are in terms of work, so that easily resonates with the other person and we get connected easily.
Great. So you've been in Dubai for a very long time. 5 years. Okay, you came to Dubai. Okay, great. So what is the difference you have seen in your career, specifically content writing and copywriting, which you think in Dubai, if you want to be a content writer, you need to, do you have any points like you need to excel one, two, three, these things, or you need to do this, any such points, any differentiation, or it's the
It's more or less the same. It's like depending on one's potential, creativity, and the way we put ourselves forward. Also, make very good use of social media, networking, and every ways where you can connect with people. But in Dubai, connection matters a lot.
most of the people, I think, for some of our students also, they are very shy about creating a work account, work portfolio account. I say, even if you don't want to be publicly visible, you create a work account and you post your content and everything on the work account. That will also fetch you a lot of visibility, and visibility gets you clients, jobs, and everything, right? So coming back to content writing and copywriting, uh, how do you structure a content? Like if I have to put forward, like let's say you are writing a content, how do you, what is the process of you writing a content? Do you have a structure? Like how do you come into a conclusion, this is how my content should be? Where do you do the, I mean, you basically do the research in Google, you use any AI topic? So
Yeah,
what
definitely.
is your process of writing a content?
So initially, we get to know with what industry it is. We do our research about the products and everything. It's okay. Initially we do the research about the industry, the topic itself. We make sure we do a first draft. We need to be adaptable of the tone that the brand needs. The tone of voice should be matching with exactly what the brand has to resonate. We understand what the brand has to portray, and then we create a first draft and we make it SEO oriented. We send it to them, and it's a process like that.
Great. So do you send a questionnaire or what
We
in the
send a
initial?
questionnaire initially in the discovery call. We have a discovery call where we get to know about the client. So there we send a questionnaire with a lot of questions, and once they fill it up and give it to us, we will get an idea of okay what they want. Then we build the strategy according to that.
Great,
And yeah.
great. So, do you use any tools in supporting to write contents? If yes, what are they?
For writing, I basically use Google Docs. It helps in very easier method of accessibility as well. So then I use this ChatGPT for informational level. So we get a lot of information through AI tools. Then For SEO optimization, I
Do you use, I mean, so ChatGPT, people tell now, like, you need to learn how to prompt,
prompt through that,
right?
through
So,
that,
do
yeah.
you have any information or any suggestions, like how to prompt in that?
Okay, so it depends on what you're searching or what exactly do you fetch, do you want to fetch out of ChatGPT. So if you know that prompting technique really well, you can really make good use of it,
Great,
even in any industry itself,
great,
not just
great,
writing, yeah.
great. So, I also heard social media marketing in UAE is very difficult. The reason why you cater to different nationalities and to make it relatable to every types of people here, it's very difficult to come up with a content. For example, in India, you if you cater to a relatable content, Indians, it goes as a viral content. But Dubai or UAE as a country, there's n number of people, n number of nationalities, and your content must not be related to people. So virality is lesser chance. So what's your take on that?
Virality is not lesser chance, it's there. There are different types of categories, so it depends. So, see, people who are based in Emiratis and stuff basically is more into Snapchat than Instagram. So, once something pops up on Snapchat, it gets viral and stuff, yes. There are certain posts that gets viral among us Malayalis. So, it's not that particular thing, it's about the subject that gets viral here. Anything that's related to UAE or its people or the the traits or the efforts or the problems that the people of UAE faces, it gets viral very well.
Okay, okay. So as a content writer, language is very important. Uh, do you have any techniques or anything in terms of to improve my language as a content writer, or do you I mean, do you have any suggestions on that?
So, as for my part, I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of articles. I mean, I just keep on researching. For me, it's a process. I still believe that I have a long way to go in terms of improving. I keep on learning. I'm leveling up myself into different aspects of writing, into social media and everything. So now that people are using AI, I'm not someone who says we should not be using AI. I would always say that we should use AI and we should be on top level of using that AI in our careers. So
Okay. So, do you have any content formulas which you can tell us? Like, I think there is a lot of copywriting formulas which we carry. So, when you write for ad or when you write for posters, what is something which I need to take care?
So the general formula which we tell is about the AIDA, the attention, interest, desire, and stuff.
Can you explain AIDA to our audience
The
later?
giving an attention to every. So the AIDA concept is like attention, interest, desire, and action. So attention is through the headlines, seeking the attention of the reader, which is like a catchy headline, which we use in the headline as a poster or wherever. Then the interest is to create a copy that generates the interest of the people. So it can be about the feature or something like that, which has more about what attracts them. Then the desire to write a feature that causes a desire in them, where they feel like, okay, I should be getting this. It should have the nuance technique stuff. Then the action. It should have a call to action, the basic general action of buying it and stuff. So there are different methodologies. We can adapt it in terms of what actually we are trying to convey. So it all depends on that.
Okay, okay. So, content writers, I think people consider content writing as a boring job. Do you have any comment on that?
It
Or do
depends on
you
your
do
side.
anything to make it exciting in any terms?
No,
Or
what I do is when I teach for students, so it's my first experience teaching someone in HACA. So what I do is like I ask each of the students like, what you guys want to become? What is your industry and stuff? So one is like, I want to build my own website company. So I'm like, okay, do you know how can content and copy be relevant to you and your industry? It's like, no, ma'am, I have ChatGPT. Why do I even learn to learn? It's like, bro, do you know this is the sentence you phrased? I can make it in this way. I say that design catches the eyes of the people, but have you ever noticed that this headline can actually work for your people? It's like, yeah, you are right.
at the end
So,
of the day, we say content is the petrol of the
yeah.
online world,
Yeah,
right?
so I could try my maximum. Like I say, people like, see, this is a design, this is everything. But if you have a spicy or a juicy or a hot content over it, it's gonna be a game changer. So
Great. My next and final question is, how to land your first client in UAE, and how do you charge as a
Oh,
content
okay.
writer?
This charging part is a very tricky question because most of the freelancers face this issue. Chances of underrating, underpricing, and stuff. So you can charge as per. You can even put question forward that what is the budget of the client initially. Since if you're trying to land a first client, we can give value added or bonus or a free sample so as to attain the client initially. But usually people charge around zero point 0.6 fills and stuff per word, but it all depends on, you can also charge on hourly basis. So but methodology I use is I charge based on the package of the whole content, so that works for me, and within the deadline.
Okay.
So that the other question was,
How to land on your first client?
so, landing on the first clients, just like I told you, can once you're here, you can just enroll yourself on the platforms in like Fiverr, Upwork, Freelancer, LinkedIn, Indeed, and all, and get yourself into networking with people, connecting with people. Then first handle the portfolio itself.
Yeah.
Shoot your portfolio, talk with people, show samples and stuff. Then get yourself connected with them.
Great. Farin, one last question. You've been the mentor for social media, content writing, and copywriting for Haris&Co Academy UAE. What's your experience on teaching our students, and how our academy stands different from whatever you've seen in UAE specifically? And why do people have to learn from us? Because we make sure that all our subjects are taught by subject experts. That's why you came in. That's why Naushir is coming from India. That's why we have experts for each of the things, and we are glad that you joined us in teaching. So what's your experience in that, and how is it finding different? And yeah.
So, teaching is the first-hand experience for me, for sure. I came to know that okay, these are all these areas I've been knowing. When students ask me a question like, "Fareen, what is it about?" So I'm able to answer it. So
Okay.
I think like, okay, I knew this. It's like most enlightening kind of a thing for me. Secondly, what I like about HACA is that you guys are an agency experienced academy. So
Yeah.
the best part is I felt it's like you have dealt with clients and you know what
Yeah.
works for what,
Yeah.
and that process which you know framework for your students is one big thing I've felt. And secondly, it's about the mentors you choose.
Yeah.
You want to make sure it should be more of practicality rather than theory,
Mm-mm-mm.
and all of these I found very special about Hacker, and yeah, something which everybody should be.
Great. So thank you so much for accepting our invitation back then to join us as a guest lecturer, and we are glad that you are with us in teaching our students, and we were getting most positive feedbacks about your works, and they're loving it already. And I wish this collaboration goes throughout, and we're gonna create most impactful stories out of students, and good futures for them. So thank you so much, Fareen, for spending a few minutes with us. Thank you so much, and we look forward.
Inshallah. Thank you, Harris.